Representative Tate. Now please remain standing for the national anthem and the Black national anthem by the Turner sisters, Jaliyah and Jamila Turner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, woe the ramparts we've watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and now of the brave, the brave. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the glistening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the hope that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the faith that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun, let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you, Jaliyah and Jamila. Now please remain standing for our invocations. Our first invocation will be given by Rabbi Alicia Harris of Congregation Sher Tikva in Troy, Michigan.
Holy source of light and life, we are grateful for the right and the privilege to vote. Expressing our voices in this way was not always allowed for so many of us in this country, and we recognize our ancestors who fought for this freedom. We thank you for giving the people of this country a voice in this election. This was a challenging season for us, and we are grateful to be moving forward, and even more grateful that the people of Michigan made it clear. This is no place for hatred, bigotry, xenophobia, or racism. Be with the electors as they finalize the vote for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Our voices are a precious gift that you gave us, and we use them to stand up for what is right. May this count be swift and clear. And Creator, we ask that you will be with President Biden and Vice President Harris as they begin this new journey. May they find fulfillment and purpose in the work that they do. May they find ways to unify this country. May they protect all of our citizens, especially the most vulnerable. And may they be wise and thoughtful in their governance. Be with all of the people throughout this land who are fighting COVID-19. Keep us healthy and safe. Help us feel loved and bring us peace. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Harris. And our second invocation will be given by Imam Muhammad El-Alahi of the Islamic House of Wisdom in Dearborn Heights, Michigan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa bihi nasta'een. In your name, O Lord, the Lord of life, love, liberation, and wisdom. O Lord, our nation is approaching the new year of 2021. It will be a new year with new administration, new morning, and new journey for America. Please, O Lord, bless our nation for their historic participation in November 3rd election and for defending our democracy and deciding the direction of our country for years to come. Please bless the Electoral College of the state of Michigan and capital of any other states who are meeting this Monday to finalize the election of this new administration. Oh Lord, please bless our country's new President-elect Joe Biden and new Vice President-elect Kamala Harris to go through this transition safely and successfully. Oh Lord, our nation is still suffering. Our nation still is suffering from this painful pandemic. Over 300,000 deaths. That means over 109 11s in 1 year. So painful. Please strengthen our new administration to be source of healing, source of fast recovery of not only coronavirus, but any other racial, cultural, or political pandemics that may target or threat the unity, the solidarity, and security of our nation. Oh Lord, please protect our new leaders and help them to be American ambassadors of diplomacy, dialogue, peace and justice, freedom and dignity for humanity, for our nation and our world. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen.
Thank you, Imam Alahi. Everyone, you may be seated. I now ask that the Honorable Jocelyn Benson, the Secretary of State and Chief Election Officer of the state of Michigan, please stand and be recognized. Thank you, Secretary Benson. Next, I ask the Attorney General, Dana Nessel, to please stand and be recognized. Next, I would ask the Honorable Bridget Mary McCormick, Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, to rise and be recognized. Thank you to Secretary Benson, Attorney General Nessel, and Chief Justice McCormick for being here today and for your exemplary service to the people of the great state of Michigan. And I would now ask that the Honorable Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of the state of Michigan, please come forward to address the electors.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. Thank you, Attorney General Dana Nessel, Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, and Chief Justice Bridget McCormick for being here today. This was truly a historic election. During the worst public health crisis we have seen in our lifetimes, Michiganders everywhere made a plan to ensure that their voices were heard in November. A record-breaking 5.5 million Michiganders cast their ballots for president, United States Senate, Congress, and state and local races. Our Secretary of State, Jocelyn Benson, and her team worked 24/7 to ensure a fair, a secure, an accurate election, and they succeeded. Likewise, our Attorney General Dana Nessel and her team have worked tirelessly to protect the vote. And our election workers and local clerks stepped up and did their part to ensure everyone's voice was heard. Today, Michigan's 16 electors will vote to finalize Michigan's election results. And I want to thank each and every one of you for traveling here today to perform your patriotic duty on our behalf. Our American democracy was founded on the principle of majority rule. 5.5 million people from all walks of life, from all 83 counties of our state, Republicans and Democrats and independents, cast their vote this past November. Michigan has chosen a clear winner for the office of President of the United States and for every elected office up and down that ballot. The people have spoken. It was a safe, fair, and secure election. It was the kind of election our founding fathers envisioned when they created this democracy and built this country. And after today, the results will be final. It's time to move forward together as one United States of America. Now is the time for us to put this election behind us and to focus our efforts together to defeat our common enemy, COVID-19. Over the weekend, the first shipments of the FDA-approved Pfizer vaccine left Portage, Michigan. Right here in a state built on innovation and grit, the safe and effective COVID vaccine is being manufactured by Michigan workers at a Michigan business to save the lives of Americans everywhere. Our state is at the center of the world right now, in a good way. And FedEx and UPS came together to help distribute this life-saving vaccine, putting aside their competitive nature for the common good. If they can do it, I think Republicans and Democrats can do it too. No matter your party, no matter who you cast your ballot for, we all have a personal stake in defeating and eradicating this virus together. So we must stay smart, we must mask up, and we must get to work. But at this juncture, we've got a little bit more work to do right here. As such, nominations are now in order for the office of chairperson of the 2020 Presidential Electoral College. I'm going to recognize Chuck Browning, Elector at Large, for the purpose of a nomination.
Governor Whitmer, I nominate the Honorable Garland Gilchrist, Lieutenant Governor and President of the Michigan Senate, as chairperson of the 2020 Electoral College.
Thank you, Chuck. I recognize Carolyn Holly of the 10th Congressional District for the purpose of seconding the nomination. Thank you, Carolyn. Appreciate that. Seconded the nomination. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, I call for a vote. All in favor of Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist as chairperson of the 2020 Presidential Electoral College shall signify by saying aye. All opposed shall say no. The ayes have it. Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is unanimously elected chairperson of the 2020 Electoral College. Lieutenant Governor, please, you are forward. Please take the helm here and preside over the meeting of our electors. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Governor Whitmer. And thank you, electors. And now I would like to appoint State Representative Joe Tate as secretary. I would also like to appoint Lavora Barnes as the Sergeant at Arms. The role of official electors of President and Vice President of the United States will now be called. Indicate your presence by please rising and stating here when your name is called. From the 1st Congressional District, Chris Cracchiolo. From the 2nd Congressional District, Timothy E. Smith. The 3rd Congressional District, Blake Mazurik. 4th Congressional District, Bonnie J. Loria. 5th Congressional District, Bobby Walton. 6th Congressional District, Mark Edward Miller. 7th Congressional District, Connor Wood. 8th Congressional District, Robin Smith. 9th Congressional District, Walter C. Herzig III. It appears that Walter C. Herzig III is unable to attend, so this position is vacant. From the 10th Congressional District, Carolyn Holly. 11th Congressional District, Susan Nichols. 12th Congressional District, Stephen Rezepa. 13th Congressional District, Helen Moore. 14th Congressional District, Michael Kerwin. At large, Chuck Browning. At large, Marseille Allen. At this time, I would like to introduce the Honorable Bridget Mary McCormick, Chief Justice of the Michigan Supreme Court, for the purpose of administering the oath of office to the electors of President and Vice President of the United States. Justice McCormick.
Now you can hear me, right? Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, and thank you, Representative Tate. The electors have all stood up. That's where you're supposed to be. You will please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. And the state of Michigan. And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States. According to the best of my ability. You may be seated, and please take this opportunity to sign the written oath of office that is on your desk.
Thank you, Justice McCormick. I now ask the Sergeant at Arms to please collect the oath of office documents. Thank you, everyone. Now, there's a vacancy in the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States. So under Michigan law, the qualified electors of President and Vice President must proceed to fill the vacancy by ballot by a plurality of votes. Nominations are now in order to fill the vacancy in the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States. I recognize Susan Nichols of the 11th Congressional District for the purpose of a nomination.
I nominate Sharon Baseman of the 9th Congressional District to fill the vacancy of the office of the Elector of President and Vice President of the United States.
Thank you. I recognize Bobby Walton of the 5th Congressional District for the purpose of seconding the nomination.
I second the nomination.
Thank you, Ms. Nichols and Ms. Walton. Are there any other nominations to fill the vacancy of the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States? Hearing none, I call for a vote by ballot. To facilitate the voting, I call upon the Sergeant at Arms to please step forward and assist with the distribution of ballots. Please indicate your vote on the ballot by writing in the name of the nominee, Sharon Baseman, in the blank space on the ballot and signing your name. The first name is spelled Sharon, S-H-A-R-O-N, and the last name is spelled Baseman, B-A-S-E-M-A-N. Please also print your name under the signature. And as you complete, I now will ask the Sergeant at Arms to collect the ballots for the purpose of tallying them. It's like Jeopardy music.
The elected unanimously cast 15 ballots for Sharon Baseman.
Sharon Baseman has received 15 votes to fill the vacancy in the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States and is selected as an elector and will be seated among the electors. And just so I don't get left out of signing things, I will now complete the certificate of filling the vacancy. Representative Tate will please come forward, and the Secretary, your signature is also required. It is now time to sign the certificate of election for elector Sharon Baseman. Each elector must sign the certificate of election to certify the election of elector Sharon Baseman. The Sergeant at Arms will provide each of you with the certificate in turn. Please remain seated while we proceed with the signing. Chris Cacchiolo. Timothy E. Smith. Blake Mazurek. Bonnie J. Loria. Bobby Walton. Mark Edward Miller. Connor Wood. Robin Smith. Sharon, oh, excuse me, you don't get to sign that. Never mind. Carolyn Holly. Susan Nichols. Stephen Rezepa. Helen Moore. Michael Kerwin. Marseille Allen. Chuck Browning. At this time, I'd like to reintroduce Chief Justice, the Honorable Bridget Mary McCormick, for the purpose of administering the oath of office to Elector Sharon Baseman. Justice McCormick.
Learned it. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist. Ms. Baseman, please rise. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of Michigan, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States, of the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States, according to the best of my ability. You may be seated, and please take this opportunity to sign the written oath of office that is at your desk.
Thank you, Justice McCormick. With the vacancy in the office of Elector of President and Vice President of the United States now filled, the electors will now proceed to perform their duties as required by the Constitution of the United States, the laws of the United States, and the laws of the great state of Michigan. Nominations are now in order for honorary chairpersons of the 2020 Presidential Electoral College. I recognize Connor Wood of the 7th Congressional District for the purposes of nominations.
I nominate the following as honorary chairpersons of the 2020 Electoral College: the Honorable Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of the State of Michigan, the Honorable Debbie Stabenow, United States Senator, and the Honorable Gary Peters, United States Senator.
Thank you. I recognize Helen Moore of the 13th Congressional District for the purposes of seconding the nominations.
I second the nomination.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, all those in favor of nominating the honorary chairpersons will signify this by saying aye. All opposed shall signify by saying nay. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Senator Debbie Stabenow, and Senator Gary Peters are unanimously elected as honorary chairpersons of the 2020 Electoral College. As the Electoral College has convened and organized, nominations are now in order for the office of President of the United States. I recognize Michael Kerwin of the 14th Congressional District for the purpose of a nomination.
I nominate Joe Biden for the office of President of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Kerwin. I recognize Robin Smith of the 8th Congressional District for the purpose of seconding the nomination.
Mr. Chair, I second the nomination of Joe Biden for the office of the President of the United States.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations for the office of President of the United States? Hearing none, the electors will vote by ballot. To facilitate this voting, I would like to call upon our Sergeant-at-Arms to please step forward and distribute ballots for the office of President of the United States to the electors. Again, electors, please indicate your vote on the ballot by signing your name in the space provided. Sergeant-at-Arms will now please collect the ballots for the purpose of tallying the votes. Sergeant at Arms LeVar Barnes, has the tally been completed?
Yes, Lieutenant Governor. The electors have unanimously cast 16 votes for Joseph R. Biden.
Nominations are now in order for the office of Vice President of the United States. I recognize Marseille Allen, elector at large, for the purposes of a nomination.
I nominate Kamala Harris for the office of Vice President of the United States.
Thank you, Elector Allen. I recognize Blake Mazurek of the 3rd Congressional District for the purposes of seconding the nomination.
Mr. Chair, it is my honor to second the nomination of Kamala Harris for the office of Vice President of the United States.
Are there any other nominations for the office of Vice President of the United States? Hearing none, the electors will again vote by ballot. To facilitate the voting, I would like to call upon the Sergeant at Arms to please step forward and distribute the ballots for the office of Vice President of the United States to the electors. The Sergeant at Arms will please collect the ballots for the purpose of tallying the votes. Sergeant at Arms Barnes, has the vote been tallied?
Yes, Lieutenant Governor, the electors have unanimously cast 16 votes for Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris has received all 16 electoral votes from the state of Michigan. It is now time to sign the certificates of vote for president and vice president. Each elector must sign each of the 6 certificates to certify the vote for Joe Biden for the office of President of the United States and Kamala Harris for the office of Vice President of the United States. The Sergeant at Arms will provide each of you with the 6 certificates in turn. Please remain seated while we proceed with the signing. Chris Cracchiolo.
I'm touched the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the I Have a Dream speech. He opens by saying, in a sense, we've come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every person will become an heir. This note was a promise that yes, that all men, and he said yes, black men as well as white men, and I would add women, Asians, immigrants, the LGBTQ plus community, and others would be considered equal and guaranteed unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But he noted that it was obvious at that time that the promissory note, insofar as many citizens of this country, was not fulfilled and have come back insufficient funds. But he said he refused to believe that the Bank of Justice was bankrupt and that there were insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. And so he said, we've come to cash a check that upon demand would give us the riches of freedom, security, and justice. I submit to you today that as we move forward with the election of our next vice president, this country moves forward in fulfilling the principles upon which it was founded, principles that were always just a goal for us to strive to attend, principles that we always are moving forward. And that in the eyes of so many young women, there is a greater promise in America. And in the hearts of so many older women, there is a sense of fulfillment that did not used to happen. And in the eyes of so many Black children and Asian children, this country has become just a little bit more fair. And so today I'm pleased to preside over, at the appropriate time, the election of the Vice President of the United States and pleased to be with you today.
Thank you, Vice President Street, for your remarks. The chair recognizes the Honorable Daisy Cruz of Philadelphia County for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolved that the Honorable Rick Bloomingdale of Dauphin County be appointed Secretary of this Electoral College.
Thank you, Ms. Cruz. Those in favor of the resolution, give their vote by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The resolution is unanimously adopted. The chair now recognizes the Honorable Charles Hadley of Philadelphia County for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolved that the Honorable Kathy Dalcumper of Erie County be appointed parliamentarian of this Electoral College.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hadley. Those in favor of the resolution, please give their vote by your assent. Vote aye. Opposed? No. The ayes have it, and the resolution is unanimously adopted. The chair requests the Sergeant at Arms to escort the Secretary and the parliamentarian to their chairs. The chair extends to the temporary officers the thanks of the college for the able manner in which they have presided during these proceedings. Without objection, the College of Electors will adopt forms of proceedings necessary to carry out the essential tasks of the Electoral College of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Hearing no objections, they are adopted. We are now ready to proceed with the balloting for President and Vice President of the United States. The chair recognizes the Honorable Malcolm Kenyatta of Philadelphia County for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolution, a ballot for the President of the United States. Be it resolved that the electors of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, here assembled in the Forum Auditorium at the State Capitol, in the city of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, do now proceed to the ballot for President of the United States.
Thank you, Mr. Kenyatta. Those in favor of the resolution will give their assent by saying aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is unanimously adopted. The chair appoints without objection the following three individuals to act as tellers for the Electoral College. The Honorable Rich Fitzgerald from Allegheny County as head teller. The Honorable Jason Henry from Allegheny County and the Honorable Mary Esther Van Shure from Allegheny County. The chair requests the Sergeant at Arms to escort the tellers to the stage. Okay. Everybody in place? Let us proceed now to the election of the President of the United States. Each elector shall write on his or her ballot the name of the person for whom he or she votes for President of the United States. The chair requests the Vice President of the Electoral College to preside during the election of Vice President of the United States.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Virginia McGregor of Lackawanna County for the purposes of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. It is resolved that the electors of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, here assembled in the Forum Auditorium at the State Capitol in the city of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, do now proceed to ballot for Vice President of the United States.
Thank you, Ms. McGregor. Those in favor of the resolution will give their assent by saying aye. Opposed, no. All in favor? The ayes have it, and the resolution is unanimously adopted. Each elector shall write his or her name on the ballot of the person for whom he or she has voted for Vice President of the United States. Ballots are being distributed.
Thank you, Vice President Street, for conducting the election for Vice President of the United States. As the roll call is called, each elector will come forward and deposit his or her ballots in the official ballot box for the President and Vice President of the United States. The Secretary will call the roll.
Good afternoon. The Honorable Nina Ahmad. The Honorable Val Arkush. The Honorable Cindy Bass. The Honorable Ryan Boyer. The Honorable Paige Gebhardt Cognetti. Just a little historical note for folks. They're putting their ballots into a ballot box designed by Benjamin Franklin. So we've got a little bit of history and tradition here in Pennsylvania. Honorable Daisy Cruz. The Honorable Kathy Dalkemper. The Honorable Janet Diaz. The Honorable Charles Hadley. The Honorable Jordan Harris. The Honorable Malcolm Kenyatta. The Honorable Gerald Lawrence. The Honorable Clifford Levine. The Honorable Virginia McGregor. The Honorable Nancy Mills. The Honorable Marion Moskowitz. The Honorable Josh Shapiro. The Honorable Sharif Street. The Honorable Connie Williams. And myself, the Honorable Rick Bloomingdale.
The chair directs the tellers to count the ballots. Once the count is completed and the tellers prepare their written report, they will advise the college of the results. At this time, I would like to thank our alternate electors for being available today in case they were called into service. Laser Palnick, Erwin Aronson, Peggy Grove, Patty Kim, David Philman, and Rabbi Peter Kessler. The chair recognizes the head teller, the Honorable Rich Fitzgerald from Allegheny County.
Thank you, Madam President. It is my pleasure to announce to you and to the members of the college that the tellers agree in their count. The electors of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania have cast 20 votes for the Honorable Joseph R. Biden for President of the United States and 20 votes for the Honorable Kamala D. Harris for Vice President of the United States.
I hope you can see me smiling behind this mask. The chair directs the secretary to record that in the open meeting of this Electoral College of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The Honorable Rich Fitzgerald certified on behalf of the tellers, Jason Henry and Mary Esther Van Shura, that the vote for President of the United States was 20 votes for Joseph R. Biden, and the vote for Vice President of the United States was 20 votes for Kamala D. Harris. The chair also thanks the tellers for their efficient performance of their duties. In accordance with the law, it becomes our responsibility to certify the results. The chair recognizes the Honorable Ryan Boyer of Delaware County for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolve that the certificates of vote for President and Vice President of the United States be placed on the table and signed by the electors.
Thank you, Mr. Boyer. Those in favor of the resolution will give their assent by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? No. The ayes have it, and the resolution is unanimously adopted. There are 6 certificates to be signed by the electors certifying the votes cast by them for President and Vice President of the United States. The secretary will call the roll, and the electors will come forward and sign in the order in which your name is called. Secretary Bloomingdale.